Stop pushing buttons, Scott. This time it's your fault, not mine.
It is my fault. Constantly fucking it up.
This
Anyway.
is like the fifth time you started it.
Yes, here we are at Old Ass Movie Reviews. Thanks for joining us. This is our fifth attempt to get this podcast recorded today because I keep pushing buttons.
Doesn't help I keep laughing.
Today's review is Westworld, the original movie. Yul Brynner, from Michael Crichton, who also directed this movie.
See, I forgot that he had directed it, but yeah.
Yeah, he did, written, directed. So please stay tuned here in a few minutes when we go to that, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It is one hell of a movie. Mm-hmm. So what I was thinking about here at Old Ass Movie Reviews, we watch a lot of movies.
We do,
and we see a lot of shit. And you know, some people may wonder, where are you guys seeing all of this? Well, those of you with internet pretty much know it's pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's happened, it's so funny. Back when I was on cable and satellite, it's like I've got to cut this cord so I can save some money. I spend just as much now on individual a la carte channels. But I like having everything on demand. It's perfect. So one of our favorite spots is Tubi.
I love Tubi. Tubi's great. It really is. It's got a huge variety of movies. A lot of older stuff. I found a bunch of old Saturday morning cartoons. The old Saturday morning Batman and Robin.
Oh shit.
The one with that without Batmite, and the one with Batmite when Batmite shows up.
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
Oh, you don't remember ever watching those ones?
No.
Just the little interdimensional imp that comes from another world and just fucks with Batman and Robin. Okay. And then the Superman is on there. And what else is on there? I think the original Wonder Woman series is on there.
Oh wow! Yes, I did see that. I think
some
Wonder
Super
Woman
Friends is on there too. I think they have some old Super Friends stuff. Yeah, Tubi is great. I love Tubi.
Yeah. Tubi, I spent one night just in the horror section.
They got a lot of horror.
Yeah. And that's HORROR. I know my accent makes it sound like I'm talking about some whores or whores.
Going to be at the littlest whorehouse in Texas.
Yeah.
In Pensacola.
So the horror section. Horror section. Yeah. They've got so many movies on there, and they've got so much shit on there too. And that's where we have found such classics as
Night of a Thousand
Cats.
God, that's a horrible movie.
That's
not even funny. That's not even funny, horrible. That was just painful to watch.
Any movie that makes me want to turn it off during the credits, and we're only 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
That's some skill.
You and I had the exact same reaction to that movie.
That was the longest 3 minutes ever. It's like, my God, I've been sitting there for an hour. Oh, it's only been 3 minutes.
Oh my Lord.
That's that. We also Tubi is really good.
And it's free.
It's free. That's one of the best.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's right. There are commercials. However, they aren't that bad. They don't go on forever like on regular network.
And the movies are uncut, as far as I can tell. I've watched movies in there. I mean, if there's breasts, there's going to be breasts in the movie, even though you have commercials. If there's a blood splatter, there's going to be a blood splatter.
See Song of Solomon.
Yeah. If there's an FU, yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah,
completely uncut, extreme horror at its best. Mm-hmm. So definitely check. I definitely recommend Tubi. What other services do you use?
The standard, I go with Netflix, which I'm not happy with Netflix right now. I personally don't like a lot of the stuff they're putting out there. I just don't think it's that good. Some stuff they're doing, they're hitting the mark and they're really taking off. Like what I've watched of Lost in Space, their reboot, was really good. I enjoyed it. I haven't finished watching the series.
I'll have to go back to it. I stopped watching for some reason. It just wasn't grabbing me. But
what I watched, I enjoyed. I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of dig this. This is pretty good. There was another series that they did that I really liked, and it's just slipped my mind now. But then there's 30 other ones, and the one or two that are good that I just start to try and watch, or I look at and I'm just like, what? Why would anybody put that crap on? I don't get it. And I know somebody that might be somebody's favorite show, like they're doing a live version of Cowboy Bebop. Now, I am a huge fan of the anime Cowboy Bebop, one of my all-time favorites. It's just one of my all-time favorites, up there with Tank Girl, and not Tank Girl, Tank Police.
Oh shit! Yes, that's a good one.
Do you remember Tank Police?
Yes. I might have a DVD around here somewhere with it.
Yeah, I had old tapes, and I loved that series. They were going bad. I had to burn them to a disc. And I've never been able to find that thing on a disc. I don't know if it's out there. I haven't looked for it for a few years. But
that was back during my bootlegging days.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, but then they have one called Witches Academy that's on there. That's fantastic. I really like that. But they're doing a live action Cowboy Bebop.
I can see it going either way, man.
No, you can't. This is only going to go one way. I think this is only going to go one way. One of the actresses stepped up and opened her big mouth.
Oh no.
The one guy they had doing it might be able to pull it off. And then he said something. I want to say, I was just glimpsing through like write-ups on it, and it was accredited to him that he said, "I'm not the main character." My mind just went blank. I want to say Slick. Something like that.
I was about to say Ein, but that's the dog.
Yeah, the dog. Yeah, and I don't think they have the little computer girl in there, the little nerdy one. That they don't have that one. But I'm just like, how can you say that? How can you say you're not that guy, but you're on Cowboy Bebop? And Japanese, the guy who created it, not a fan of it.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's already come out and said, not a fan. And then Japan, I guess there's a couple networks or something in Japan that are like, no, you're on your own Netflix.
Yeah, so, and some of that could be the fact that it is Netflix, or they really fucked that all up, because the Japanese are very protective of their culture and stuff. So when Americans do it, it's kind of reminds me when we watched that little Aliens, the movies that made us, how when the Americans showed up, the Brits were like, "Nah, we ain't fucking working with you."
Right.
So it's it could be some of that, but it could just be we're about to get some shit. So
just be really, really bad, and I'm not happy to see that, but yeah, I'm not a huge. I used to be really big on Netflix. I really liked it, and then I guess it's probably because everyone is starting their own streaming services.
Right, and that's what I've noticed when Netflix lost Marvel, they created some great Marvel shows. Punisher, Daredevil was fucking brilliant on there. I just hate that those are gone for the most part. Happy to see that Marvel is going to carry over Charlie Cox and John Bernthal as Daredevil and Punisher. So at least we get them. I don't know about the others, but Netflix is it used to be the go-to thing, but now there's more. I still keep it. It's one that I will never turn off yet. I'm
really close to just killing it.
Yeah, I can see that because mine barely comes on. However, I'm sure I'm waiting for Cobra Kai, which is coming, and I have to watch that.
Right.
And yes, I could buy these shows, but it's just honestly, it's cheaper if I just keep the subscriptions.
Right.
One of my favorites has been HBO.
HBO Max.
HBO Max, yeah.
I was surprised that I've enjoyed this, and I watched that probably more than the other ones.
Yeah, I watched it last night for Elf, which we'll talk about in an upcoming podcast. But HBO Max has got a lot of stuff. They've got a lot of great original shows. They got their share of shit. A lot does, but it's I like their selection of classics. There's a lot of good. Oh yeah. And Studio Ghibli's on there as well.
Studio Ghibli, yeah.
Yeah, so HBO has surprised me that I've got on it before it came out. So I joined before they even launched it because I forget what I wanted to watch. I was a fan of Westworld and some of the other shows that they did. And
you're the one who talked me into getting on there. I think I must have got on there right after they launched that then too.
I did,
right?
once they launched early in. Yeah. And we've watched some movies on there. There's a lot of good stuff on HBO. I highly recommend it. But it's gotten to where it's absolutely insane. There's so damn many. I've turned off Disney, and I'm just going to give my brief recommendation about Disney. It's good if you want to watch some shows. Now, you did like WandaVision.
I did like those shows.
WandaVision was excellent. There are some good shows on there, and The Mandalorian. However, they're so drawn out the time between shows that you end up having it set there for 2-3 months before you get something worth watching. So Disney, well, let me back up. I give Netflix maybe right. You should get it. HBO is a definite. I really enjoy the content on there, but when we get to Disney, I say no. Only rent it when something's on there that you want to watch, and wait till it's run its course, and you can sit there and binge it, and it'll be worth your $7 or whatever. Do you have Hulu?
Yeah, I do have Hulu. The only you're gonna hate me for this. The only reason I like to keep Hulu is because of Ancient Aliens. I will.
Why would I hate you? I love Ancient Aliens.
I start that from when we finish up the series. I start that series from the very first episode all over again away.
I fucking love that.
I love that series.
Yes, it's
great. Call me names, people. I don't care. It's a great series.
I bought the box set of the entire series for my dad for
Christmas. No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's a huge fan as well. So
such a good boy.
Yeah. Shout out to Mark. Hope you enjoy them. But Hulu's great for shit like that. But I find it it doesn't make sense to me that Hulu even exists since Disney owns every fucking station on there.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting rid of Hulu too, just because I own Mary Tyler Moore. I own all the Bob Newharts. Yeah. I own there's another series on there that I've got, and I'm like, that was one of the reasons that when I first started watching, I was like, oh my God, they got this. Yeah. Oh, they got this. But it was just easier to turn on the TV, click on Hulu instead of going and, pulling out all the DVDs.
It is.
But now I'm watching this and I'm like, there's anything on here that I am interested in watching isn't available, or it's on another channel that I've got. Right. So I think that's one of those deals that just, if you've got one of these other channels, you probably don't need Hulu.
Right. I put Hulu right there with Netflix. I use it right now to watch Forged in Fire, which I don't understand why it's on Hulu and not on Discovery Plus up to date. So it's, I guess, deals they had before they started. But that leads me to one of my most watched streaming platforms is Discovery Plus.
Don't have Discovery Plus. I
absolutely love it. If the wife and I like to watch home shows, or as known as white people flipping houses. Those are always good to watch. So Discovery is always on. I love Moonshiners, and
Fuck, half my mom's side of the family in Kentucky could be on it, have their own show then.
Yeah.
Right out loud.
But Discovery Plus has got a lot of cool shit on it. It's got the History Channel, Discovery Channel, all those shows, and several other little networks, HGTV, DIY.
Yeah.
And that's who also now, I think, owns HBO. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Who may give Zack Snyder a chance to do his next movie.
Yes. I heard they were fans.
Yeah. I had Curiosity Stream and I got rid of it.
What is that one?
It wasn't that expensive. It was a lot of documentaries, science, history.
Oh, I think I'm familiar with that.
It's actually really, really good. Some of the documentaries are like, series.
Right.
Some of the documentaries are just 1 hour, 2 hours. And then there's some that are like a bunch of little snippets of people from this point of history or what have you, or somebody who invented something. They had one on Tesla that was very interesting, very, very.
Oh, I bet. That brought me
I didn't know about Tesla was in this series. I was like, holy crap.
I saw a Tesla joke you might appreciate. If the question was, if a Tesla gets stolen, is it now called an Edison?
Boom, boom. The answer is yes.
Yes. And fucking Westinghouse.
Son of a bitch. That son of a bitch. Let's say we'll have to do a whole podcast of just Tesla and Edison and all this shit.
There's a good Tesla movie, I think. I'd seen, or something that recently came out.
Yeah, recently there was one about him that came
I
out.
don't think I've seen that one, but
What else do I have? What other? Oh, I have Amazon Plus.
that's one I always forget about. Yeah,
Prime Plus.
Prime.
I'm not
I always
sure what
forget I have
Prime.
it.
Yeah.
Prime.
It's really good because through that I also have Boomerang, so I watch a
Okay.
lot of old school Saturday morning animation
Right.
for Boomerang.
Awesome.
So those are the ones that I have.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd like to get rid of two of them, at least two of them. I tried to get rid of Amazon, and I thought the wife was going to stab me.
Well, with Amazon, I pay for Prime anyway. So
Right.
for the shipping, I buy so much through Amazon.
Yeah.
I can't stand Jeff Bezos, but I'm going to give him my money anyway because
Son of a bitch has a good plan.
it fucking works, and I can't live without it.
If somebody can come up with a plan just as good or better, I will gladly give them my business in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
I have no allegiance to this guy. So
no, I don't either. But they give
else,
but yeah, I'm with you on that. If somebody else can do it,
yep, I'm there. Yeah. Just let me know you're there, and I will show up at your doorstep while I'm canceling Amazon. But yeah, I think I could probably safely get rid of at least two or three of them and not miss them, especially with Tubi. Oh, and I watch a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of old stuff on YouTube. If you're, we had talked about Matt Moreland.
Yeah.
I found a bunch of movies of his on YouTube with all black casts that were all shot during like the 30s and 40s.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I've got them all saved, like save for later, save for later,
right.
save for later. And I started watching a few of them. Oh my God, that fucking guy.
Oh, he's great.
So hysterical. If you want a comedy, just see if you can find him on YouTube, folks, because he's funny as shit. This is an underrated guy. And if you've missed the episode where we talked about Mo Howard and
oh yeah, go back and look at the Charlie Chan, the Black Cat.
Black Cat, I believe. I think it was Black Cat or the Chinese Cat.
The Chinese Cat or the Black Cat. Something like it's an episode a few back, maybe 10 back or so. Definitely check it out because we go into Matt and Moreland.
Moreland.
Yeah.
What's funny is I think we talked more about him than we did about
we did because he's such an important character in that. So I could start talking about Birmingham Brown right now. But the only other service that I have right now is Peacock, and I got it again just to watch the Halloween movie, and I got sucked into another series. So as soon as that series is done, I may turn it off. But there's so much. One of the things that I did after I was recovering from surgery, I had Peacock, and I turned it. That wasn't the reason I had surgery because of Peacock, but I had the streaming app Peacock, and
it's always peas.
They have got every bit of WCW and WWE wrestling on there, all the way back to WrestleMania 1.
No shit.
All the Monday Night Raw, all the
Hulk Hogan stuff,
all the WrestleManias
all the
are
Macho
on there.
Man stuff. Oh
yeah,
my God.
I turned on WrestleMania 1. Muhammad Ali's a referee, and Mr. T and Hulk Hogan are fighting. I forget who. And it's like,
oh my God, I forgot about that. Jesus, that's right.
It's great. So if you want to take a trip down memory lane, it's like, holy fuck, I remember that shit. There is another service that I used to have, and it's called Shudder. SUDDER.
Yeah. I've heard.
If you're a fan of horror movies, it's great. They've got great original content, and they've got a lot of horror movies on there, and it's one of the lower priced services. I don't have it because there's so much on Tubi and so many other places.
I'm telling you, folks, if you don't have
Tubi is my number one recommended app.
Yeah, if you don't have the money, let's say you're just looking for a way to cut bills and be like, but I still want to see movies. Tubi is the way to go. We are not getting paid by Tubi. We don't have enough viewers or listeners to be paid.
I wish I was getting paid by Tubi.
I wish we were. I wish they were a sponsor or something. I don't know. But this is just me. I'm talking to a friend. Get Tubi. There's a ton of stuff on there. You'll find something that you'll want to watch, and it's really good. I enjoy it. It's very, very good.
So, listeners out there, if you have a favorite streaming app or whatever, drop us a line. Tell us what it is. Tell us what you like about them. or whatever, let's have a discussion. But that being said, let's move on to the future with Westworld. Hope you all enjoy.
I'm sorry.
Oh, while Dave's choking up, let me introduce our movie review today. Is 1970, what year?
72, I believe.
72. Westworld, Michael Crichton's sci-fi western masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm gonna go masterpiece. Yeah,
Yul Brynner, James Brolin.
James Brolin. His son became a universal conqueror.
Yes, and he snaps. This was a fun movie. If you have not seen this, go watch it. We're going to spoil it. If you've seen the series, go ahead and listen. You're not going to lose anything on that. But if you have never dipped your toes into Delos Corporation's Westworld, you should. You should. Would you take this vacation? At this time, this movie it was $1,000 a day. You could go to Westworld. You could have the Roman, or you could do the medieval. My God, that would be awesome. Until they start.
I were laughing about that last night. We're like, only $1,000 a day, but back in '73,
that's a lot of money. That's probably $10,000 a day here. So
now easily, for the rich.
Yeah,
or at least
it's a hell of an amusement park. It really is.
I would do it if I had the money and something like that came up, but I wouldn't do it right away. No. I wouldn't do it the first year. I'd let this kind of stuff happen after they get the glitches out. It's kind of like going to Jurassic Park. I'm not going to Jurassic Park until all the kinks are worked out.
Well, interesting enough, didn't Michael Crichton also write Jurassic Park? Another amusement park gone wrong.
I was going to say, it's the exact same thing. I think this is the first, and as far as I know, the only thing, might have been the first one that he ever did that was just a movie script and not a book beforehand. I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he wrote and directed this movie. And then he also wrote what was called Beyond Westworld.
Beyond Westworld and Future World? Because you mentioned Beyond Westworld off, but there was another movie called Future World that evidently Yul Brynner is in that one too. I've seen it only once as a kid. I think it might be on Amazon Prime.
You need to look for it.
I don't know if it's free or not yet.
Yeah. So for those of you who just a quick synopsis. Obviously, two guys with money, buds or co-workers. I'm not entirely sure.
I think they're buddies.
They sound like they're buddies because one of them has just gone through a breakup, and the other one, James Brolin, has been making this trip for a while. He knows the ins and outs, and it's just kind of funny to see his partner start to cut loose by killing Yul Brynner's character right off the bat.
Perfect guy to have in that movie too is Richard Benjamin. That was the friend.
Okay.
Usually does comedies. Like he was a big comedic.
I could see that. I could.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. When the movie started, I was like, who's this annoying asshole? If he doesn't shut up, because if I was sitting there taking my ride and this guy just kept talking and kept talking and kept, are they real? Or, how can you tell and stuff like that? Right. Are the guns real? What kind of holster did you get? And so it was neat because what I saw in that scene with him was the excitement of a child.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, we're going to Disney World. And this is Disney World for adults on crack.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is...
anything you want to do, anything. It was pretty cool. It's seems like a neat place. The effects for the time and even now, they're good. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to look at this as this is your robot standard, considering look at what we just watched with Ex Machina.
Right.
And the Westworld series. Holy shit. But that's, how many years ago was that?
Exactly.
Almost 50 years ago. So
just thought, 3 years it's going to be
50 years ago.
or in a year or two, it's going to be 50 years old.
Yeah.
Just the thought of doing this back then, back in the 70s, he was so far ahead of his time. And I don't know what he specialized in because I know he was like had a PhD in something like that, but I don't know what. The thought of a computer getting a virus, everybody looked at him like he was crazy. They were like, oh, "You're going to
It's
tell
like a
me that?"
disease for computers. I remember that. I meant to write that down. It's like, oh my God, he's talking about a virus.
And the thing is, the virus was going from one world to another. It
Yeah.
went from, I think it was started in medieval world and then went to Roman world and then it was in Westworld. And they were talking about the breakdowns and how they went really high and then they started to drop. And then in the next town they went high and then they dropped. And then they started having a lot of problems after they hit Westworld again.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very interesting. Nobody had ever thought of that. Nobody was ever.
No, because we were at that time that before all that. So that was really neat because they called it a disease for computers. And
Yeah.
how can a machine get a disease? And it's like, interesting. It can get a virus.
We're all poo-pooing it, all the scientists.
And when you look at a computer virus versus and I'm a layman. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a medical person. But when you look through my eyes at a virus, a computer virus, and a real virus, they do the same thing. Their main goal is to populate, to reproduce, and destroy,
attack and destroy whatever's there, and replace it.
So they do the same thing. So it's neat that happened. So it was neat seeing the effects that they did, like you said, for even then. It's like, wow.
Take the mask off of Yul Brynner's laying down. They take the face off. It's a nice cut because the body,
the coat hides the cut.
Yeah, the guy stands in front. You see them peeling off like this little piece of skin, for lack of a better term, up around his face. Then you see the hands go on the face, and then the scientist steps in front of the camera, so you have a back shot, and then the camera keeps coming around him, and then you see the face of Yul Brynner in the guy's hands. Which, my God, what a great piece of sculpting or mold that was. That was astounding how great that looked. But then you look inside the computer and you're like, are those radio tubes?
But you know what? It was really cool. It was really cool. And I'm just full disclaimer. This is the first time I've ever seen Westworld. I watched the series on HBO and absolutely fell in love with it. It's a great AI thing. I highly, highly recommend it. This movie made me appreciate it more because it got me thinking. And I'm just going to segue real quick what I think the series did, because it had more than an hour and a half. It had 3 seasons to really expand. It puts you in the eyes of the machines by introducing characters that you didn't know were machines, and they didn't know they were machines, and they started to discover it because they were programmed to discover that they were machines and to find the truth. And it was interesting. It's really deep. So you find yourself really caring for some characters only to find out they're robots, and it's like, by then it's too late. I've got feelings for you. I want you to win. I want you to succeed. I rooted for Dolores, the main character, throughout the whole thing, because when she discovered, she was hell bent on burning it to the fucking ground. Well, and you were with her, and it's like, yes.
Pull this motherfucker down.
Yeah, but there was another robot, Maeve, who was the madam at the brothel.
Right.
She had previously been programmed as a settler on the prairie. Right. And at that time, she had a daughter who was killed by Indians. So fast forward to now, when she is a madam, she starts having flashbacks in her head from her previous life. Yeah. So she starts looking for her daughter. So now you're for Maeve. And it's like, it did a great job of making you root for the robots and hate the people. And it's like, that was a neat trick. Nice trick. It's a neat trick. Yeah.
That's cool. And it's hard to do. It can be very hard to do, to make sure the people are rooting for the people you want them to root for. People. Finger quotes.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, whoop, that's not a person. You love that robot. You want that robot to succeed. And got me.
Did you notice who the the barkeep was at the brothel?
No.
Majel Barrett.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Deanna
damn.
Troy's mom. The
Yeah.
voice of the original Enterprise and Enterprise D.
Yeah.
And I think her voice was also used in Deep Space Nine. I don't know if it's used anywhere
And
else, but
I think so. I've seen that. I've seen her pop in the credits of almost
yeah.
everything. So
So she was always around, man. And I think she might have been the original voice of the original computer too.
oh damn.
Like when I had
Very
it
cool.
sounded like working, ding, 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 and making it
Yeah.
sound really techy back in the day to make it sound like a computer. I think that was Majel Barrett's. I'd have to look into
Damn.
that. I think it was Majel Barrett's voice too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that when she's like she got that whiskey bottle and she's kicking it back. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun movie, and it lightly touches on the perils of playing God.
Yeah.
And I haven't read any Michael Crichton, and I really should. But based on this and Jurassic Park, he's got a theme going.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he did. I think it was him. I think he did a time travel book that the wife was reading, and I can't remember the name of it, but she said it was like reading a manual of how to make a time machine.
Oh my God.
It was freaking smart. That she was like, so he just gets bogged down in the minutia of describing what and how they're going to do it.
Oh damn.
Then the story starts, and you're back in the story, and then he gets down in the minutia of something else, and it's like, Michael, would you please just tell the story? But I don't want you to just get bogged down. Just tell me the story. I want to go through the names real quick. Majel Barrett was the bar maiden. Dick Van Patten. Did you catch Dick Van Patten? He was the guy who played the sheriff.
That was him. I was like, I'm staring at him the whole time. It's like, who is he?
8 is enough. Dick Van Patten.
Oh, he was so funny in that. He was a good comic relief.
Yeah.
Because his face when he rolled over in bed and saw that he had slept with one of the robots.
Right.
He just smiled. It was a Benny Hill moment.
Right. It was, wasn't it? Yeah. When he's like telling everybody, I'm going to be the sheriff of this town. He turns around, the door's still
kicking the door open.
All the robots are just looking at each other like, Jesus. We got to kowtow to this guy. Alan Oppenheimer. That was the main scientist, the bald guy with the mustache. Did you recognize him?
No.
He was the lead scientist in the $6 Million Man series. He was the guy who put the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman together.
How about that? He was perfect.
Yeah,
exactly. Can you hear him at casting? It's like, guys, that was a movie. I'm not really a scientist. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I really don't. That really
wasn't real.
I don't really know how to do this, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. I was you got more names. Go for it.
I was just gonna say Yul Brynner is the gunslinger.
Oh, of course, Yul Brynner.
Richard Benjamin is the guy who had just gotten divorced. The friend. James Brolin was the big.
He's really good in this. That's a good character.
Yeah. Brent and I said, like, I just made my one note that Brenner was also in Future World. And the funny thing about Yul Brenner in this movie is he almost didn't do it. He really didn't want to play a robot. He was just like, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. And for whatever reason, I don't remember reading why he winds up doing it, but for whatever reason, he did it. He's just okay, I'll do it.
You don't have Westworld without Yul Brynner.
No, we were talking about that last night. Like, that's one of his 3 big roles. Mm-hmm. You remember him from Magnificent Seven?
Yeah.
The King and I, and Westworld. And then everything else that he's done. I mean, those are his, to me, those are his top 3 that you just look at and go, my God, Yul Brynner's a genius. He can sing, he can dance, he can write, he can direct. He's an actor. He can play a really nice, good guy. And then he can turn around and be a gunslinger, like a robot gunslinger.
Yeah,
he hardly had any lines in this.
He hardly had any lines, but he worked. He worked his movements, his motivation. Jesus. You saw it. You knew everything, and it's like, here's what happened. I'm watching this last night, and I'm like, holy fuck, James Cameron watched this and wrote Terminator.
Probably.
Because the way that Yul Brynner's gunslinger was an endless pursuit after Richard Benjamin. It was like, wow. Even after being melted with acid and set on fire, he kept coming. It's like, this is the goddamn Terminator.
Yeah, this thing's not. Well, that's what that one guy tells the Richard Benjamin out in the desert. Well, what can I do to defend it?
Nothing.
You can't do anything. He's got the new hearing. He's got the new visual. You know, this guy, they're designed to hunt. It's like, why would you design that? Why would you design something to hunt and kill people?
Those are the obvious questions, you know, that we would have asked. They needed Jeff Goldblum there to, you know, ask him that question. I never thought about if you should.
You guys didn't think this through, did you?
No, they didn't.
I like the way he walked, because he'd have his hands on his hips, or like his thumbs in his belt, near his guns, ready to draw, but he'd be walking. And his walk was if you've seen him walking down any street like that, you'd be like, this guy's going to kill people. This guy's getting ready to kill a whole lot of people. And he never blinked. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
When he's walking down that one long corridor, that is a long single take where he is walking down this corridor, and you can see, I don't know whether they put contacts in his eyes to make him look metallic, or if somebody just got the perfect lighting and was like, keep the light right there whenever we're walking down the aisle, because this is
they either put really contacts awesome. Or they did it in post.
Something, because I don't know. It looks good. Could they do that in post back in?
Yeah, they would have to paint each and every single frame, so they're probably contacts.
But my God, he looks the most robotic in that, and he's not blinking. He's just walking, and I'm like, I can walk a couple of feet with my eyes open like that, and then I got to blink.
Yeah, he got the wind going and everything. He was great in that.
Oh my God, and the scariest moment for me from him in this movie is when he smiles at Richard Benjamin.
Yes.
And it's not a full smile. That's when you know he's sentient. That's when you know, I'm going to kill you because you've killed me two or three
I'm tired of it.
I've been killed by every asshole human around here. And I imagine he must have killed a couple other humans before he got to these guys. I've just always assumed that he was the one killing all the humans that were in Westworld, because you don't see any other humans.
No.
You know, they just assume that he gunslinged on all of them. You know.
That's true. And then when he gets to the other worlds, there's nothing but just carnage everywhere.
Yeah. And he had that extra long battery life.
I love, he did. I love the bent sword fight. That one just cracked me.
Yeah, whether it's
but the swords are all bent and everything. Like, damn.
They were hitting those freaking shields hard, man.
A little too hard. You're breaking the props, guys. Fuck it, we gotta go. We're out of time.
That gunslinger, and I like that everything there is robotic. Everything there is artificial. The horses, the people,
snakes,
for the most part, unless you're a guest. The snake. Interesting bit about that is Brolin was actually bit. That was a real snake. It got a hold of him.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, they said it was milked, but still, I think they had to do. I could be wrong, but I think they had to still give him the venom.
Oh damn! I'd be pissed.
Whatever it is. What do they call it? The snake.
Anti-venom.
Anti-venom. Thank you. I got stuck.
Yeah, I understand. It's all good.
Up and said that it was a milk snake, but I seem to recall saying that he had to still go and get, checked out for that.
Damn.
So that's whenever he's like whipping that freaking snake around.
That's a real snake. Oh damn!
It's got attached to him. It's like shit. That freaked me out.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. So in this movie, I'm not sure. Does it? I don't recall ever seeing what happened other than the talk of a virus. Was that the catalyst that set them loose?
Yeah, because everything starts affecting their
right.
What I guess it would be their governors, their their chips, their memory
Yeah.
chips, and all that, and they just it's like Data having an emotions chip. Well, you know
Bad
how you
idea.
can turn it off and turn it on. But the fact that I always took it that this thing affected like that nerve in
Right.
their computer system, whatever. And whenever everything rushed forward, even as a little kid, I just kind of figured all their memories and everything kind of came out at once, and that's why a lot of them were just killing everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
That's my best guess.
Yeah.
But you
So
want to
basically the robots they come alive or sentient, or they're now all their safeguards are gone, so they're going to
right?
respond as they normally would, but now they can kill. Um,
And they
and
do.
they do. Most of them have a low battery, so they shut down. He's got a new one. That was about it. He was the only one who just kept going. He had all the
Yeah.
upgrades. They gave the nastiest robot all the
Yeah.
best upgrades. They all. Here's the thing. If this isn't an allegory for corporate America, I don't know what it is.
Corporate
We're breaking down, but the people, we can't disappoint them. You know, they're going to want to.
Everybody
It's the
wants.
mayor from Jaws.
Yeah, the mayor from Jaws. Is that what you
Yep.
said?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
mayor from Jaws. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
mayor from
the
Jaws.
beach is fine. It's fine.
As long as they stay on the beach, they're fine, right? They'll go in the water only up to their legs, up to their knees. Yeah, that's all they
Yeah.
need.
Great. That's it. Yeah.
I only had the one question for the ending of the movie. I almost don't want to give this bit away because it's interesting, but
I'll
if
give it
you
away.
haven't seen the movie yet, I'm going to ruin it anyway. When Richard Benjamin goes down into the dungeon, number one, I can't figure out why he's going down into the dungeon unless he's just looking for anybody.
Maybe he heard the help me, or whatever
Yeah,
she was
maybe
saying.
he heard the girl, but he goes up to the girl and she's chained up and she's like all beaten. He's like he undoes her binds and he goes and gets her water and he's trying to give her water. And she's like, no, no, no. And he gives her water and she burns out. And yet, I mean, you see the smoke and it's a good effect. It really is it's a simple effect, but it's really well done. There's a couple of sparks and really well done. That's not the problem. My problem is all the robots have been eating and drinking the whole time.
Thank you.
That is to give the effect that they are actually human. So why did she burn out, I wonder? I mean,
I don't know that it could be a mistake, because I saw that and said, you got to be fucking kidding me. You
right.
build these things and they can't even get wet.
Yeah.
Give me a break. They thought this through. It was weird. Maybe she was a very early model. I don't know. But I think more than anything, they wanted a way for him to accidentally kill her and show a little bit of him feeling, because he felt bad about it.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, geez.
He had started being excited because everybody's robots.
Right.
But then he started to not trust himself, I guess, again. And
right.
It was a case with this is I think it might have been there to show that he could no longer tell.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
And I don't know what the point of that was, but other than to give some humanity to robots.
Right.
And I think it worked.
And a little bit more to him, because it's one more, one more kick. Your best friend just got killed. You almost got killed by this robot thing. Everybody else is dead. And now you just killed what seemingly would be an innocent robot.
Yeah. And
I mean, she is chained up. She is she's defenseless. She's not going anywhere.
Well, I'd like to know what happened to him. My thought is they came in and killed him too, because we can't have this getting out.
Right. Well, I think that's answered in Future World.
Okay.
I think part of that, I could be wrong, but I think some of that might be answered in Future World. So now I got to go watch Future World.
Yeah, I got to look for it. Do me a favor while you're watching stuff, and I say this to everybody out there: at least watch the first episode of Westworld on HBO. First episode, season 1. If you're not hooked, fine. If you're hooked, enjoy the ride.
Well, I said that I wanted to watch that now. I was like, okay, after this,
really
watched it. I was like, yeah, I gotta check that out now.
I think there's some issues with it, and I'll talk about that. I love the way they went further with it. We saw in the series, you see the robots develop a consciousness, and you feel for them, and you're clearly end up on their side, and It's well done in that way,
Mhm.
but they do the second season in a way that I despise. It's out of order, and I can usually handle something out of order, but we're talking 10 episodes that are out of order. You want me to keep, and I was having to wait a week to watch each episode as it came out, and it's like I can't
Right.
keep this straight. This is ridiculous. Maybe it's okay if I binge the whole 10. The
Right.
third season, and I'm not even going to talk about it, because if you watch and you make it that far, we'll talk about it. If you don't make it that far, we'll talk about it. But the
Right.
third
Right.
season I hated until today. After watching Westworld, I got to thinking, and I think I figured out the third season, and I'm like, oh, that was bloody fucking brilliant. It only took me a
Okay.
few years. I'm a little slow, internet. I know y'all. I googled to see, is like, am I thinking right? Am I thinking this? And a lot of people had that thought, and it's like, oh, I'm just late to the fucking party. But
Oh,
you know,
a lot of people said it had to
what I
do
was
with
thinking.
Westworld.
No, with the way
What?
season 3 is.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to give it away.
Okay. No, no
Uh,
problem. And then now,
so
now I get. Thanks. Now I got to go watch the whole freaking series.
you may or may not.
Bastard.
I feel I actually like the series even more now.
Right.
Because now I saw where it came from, and I think they really pulled from this. There
Right.
was a lot of people upset with Westworld because it did the series because it didn't show Roman world or
Right.
a medieval. In fact, they do, but it's near the very end. You start to
Uh-huh.
see the malfunctions happening, and they have it like a samurai world and
Oh,
all
very
these other
cool.
places and stuff. And there is a future world as well, and
Oh, nice.
that to me, I think, is season 3 is future world.
Oh, cool.
So my thought is whether or not, and I'm just going to say it, whether or not that's reality, or are we still in
Oh,
the fucking
okay.
park? It took me years to get there because I'm like, oh, that was fucking stupid. What they in the future and all that? It's like, wait, after watching that last night, what if that was the park? Fuck.
Oh, okay. Um, I'm hooked. Now I'm gonna have to check this damn thing out.
It's well
I'm
done.
definitely
It's
gonna
well
have to
done.
check it out. That's
Big
cool.
budget, big budget.
Yeah.
So yeah, real good.
They got a lot of big names in there too, didn't
Yeah,
they?
Evan Rachel Wood is the main character throughout the season.
Uh,
She's really fucking good in it. James Marston, Anthony Hopkins.
mhm.
Um, it's good. It's good. It's a decent series. Some episodes work, some don't. It's
Yeah.
anytime you take something long form. But I do highly recommend that. Also highly recommend this movie. I love that we are just hitting good sci-fi after good sci-fi after good
Yeah.
sci-fi.
That's
Or
good.
in your case, mediocre sci-fi with Ex Machina, and I get
Well, that
it.
was just me. Like I
Yeah.
said, 20 minutes. But you know what was funny is whenever whenever uh Richard Benjamin is with the hooker,
Uh-huh.
he's telling her his name and everything. And he looks at I think he asks her her name. And I was just like, your name's not Ava, is it? Which would have been hysterical had the writer of Ex Machina
Oh
used
my
that
God, yeah.
prostitute's name as his character's name.
This is
Yeah, I
this
would
is
do
such
something like that just to see if anybody finds it.
that
You
would be
know,
great.
just to
This
see if
is such
anybody.
this is such a great theme. I
Yeah,
love the AI themes. I'm a huge fan of the rebooted Battlestar
right,
Galactica. I think it's brilliant. And just the themes these present.
right.
Ridley Scott, even though I want to kill him for Covenant, he has really hit on AI in those movies, and
Just for
in a
des-
good way.
just for destroying his own universe that he created
Yeah,
and was so nice and so. I just wanted to see that girl
I
go and
do. I
kick
wanted to see Dr. Shaw survive.
and go kick the shit out of the
Yes.
Cedars. But yeah, because when they end that movie, I remember you and I were talking like, shit, that next one's gonna be kick ass. That girl's
Yeah.
she is gonna be pissed when she
Fuck
gets
yeah.
there. And then you tell me she dies in the first 5 minutes. Like, how the fuck do you kill the biggest star in the first 5 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody who's seen that last one and liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who's seen it and was like, oh no, that was a good, yes, I liked it. It was
Yeah.
perfect. Keep going, Ridley.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
hear
done. I'm
everybody.
done with Ridley. I do enjoy Blade Runner. And
Oh yeah,
I have not seen the sequel.
right.
Um,
Oh, it's a
okay. I'll just stick with the first one.
whole lot of talking.
Yeah, I
The
remember
first
that.
one had, I mean, they had a couple of fight scenes in it and stuff, but there was no, I don't know, it just wasn't as good. Just was not as good. Well, not even nearly as good.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
you could not see it and you'd be a better person for it. That's my own personal opinion of Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
That's fine.
that's me though.
Yeah. So, what do you have on tap for next week for us on the sci-fi realm?
Next week is not going to be AI. Well, I guess it kind of got AI.
Uh-oh.
It
Oh,
got
what we
Gort.
got?
It's got Gort. It is going to be The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Awesome. I have never seen this, so
It
I
is
look forward to this.
I will just say it is a classic and it is well-deserved sci-fi classic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. When you come back here and you see this next week and we ruin the movie for you because you didn't go watch it, don't blame us.
Or blame us. Please, just interact with us. That's all I ask.
Speaking of interaction, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the share button. Go ahead and leave us a line. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see us review.
Yes, please.
We try to keep it in from the beginning of motion pictures to about the late 80s, early 90s. And we do occasionally get something like an Ex Machina or a Tucker and Dale.
Or Hands of Stone or something.
Hands of Stone. We do more recent movies. But what I personally really like are the older crap movies that I just love watching. And we don't get any reviews on, but I don't care because they're really fun. But yeah, just go ahead and hit the like button. Drop us a line. See what you're up to.
So final thoughts on Westworld 73.
Watch it. Go buy it. Go buy the damn disc. Watch it. It is great. It's Michael Crichton. I think it's some of the best stuff he ever did. But that's me. I grew up with this movie. I grew up with Soylent Green. I grew up with Omega Man. I mean, these are movies that I will watch all the time, and I just love them to death. They're great movies. How about you? What did you think? You like it?
I really enjoy this movie. I think it's a staple sci-fi film. It belongs in the Hall of Fame, basically, of sci-fi films. It's one I can't believe I haven't seen. And I've always known about it. And I just, if I saw it, I was too small to remember. I don't recall. Right. So, but I think everybody should take a look at it, watch it. You'll enjoy it. It's good. It still holds up today. One of the great things about this movie is within the first 30 seconds, I was hooked. And the reason why is because they showed the transport heading out to Westworld or the Delos. Mm-hmm. And it was very futuristic and had this big screen. And yes, you could tell now it's a very green screen, but I bet you that theater in 1973, jaws were on the fucking floor when they saw that and saw the movement and stuff as it was coming in from a first person view. I was hooked right away. And it's like, okay, where are we going? Where are we going with it? This is fun.
Reflection on the glasses.
Yes.
Look at the guy in the reflection. That had to be a robot.
There was so many robots in this, and that's what made me think of the series. It's like, oh my god, they're all robots. You just don't know. And that's it's pretty cool. It's definitely a must watch. I got nothing but good things to say about it.
It's a great movie. Have you ever seen? Speaking of next week's movie, have you ever seen? No. Great. I love getting a movie that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
that's great.
So, and after that, coming up, we will be hitting in the Christmas month. It's Christmas time again, and we are going to review some classics. So stick around and see what we have got cooked up for Christmas time. So, thanks again for tuning in.
Have a good night.
Later.